So I'm really liking showing you guys like what I might see under a microscope or what different infections look like. So get used to some fun green screen action here, at least for a little bit. But this is what yeast would look like under a microscope. So what we're looking for is what you see up here, we call hyphae and buds, or pseudo-hyphae and buds. All the buds are the tiny little circles, and the hyphae, think of it, it almost looks like a tree that's like in bloom in spring. And that's yeast. doesn't feel like a spring day vaginally or anywhere else in your body, but that's what it would look like. Now, if you're going to a clinic where you are concerned about a vaginal infection and they have a microscope, they can look at right in that moment, they could tell you that day, hey, I can tell under the microscope it looks like there's a yeast infection, and there's obviously operator error involved, so it's not 100%. Not every office has a microscope. So you may be in a situation where you do have to wait for a swab. Now, if you do have to wait for a swab, sometimes we can just look and kind of see, hey, it looks like a yeast infection. It can be a mix of what we call cottage cheese-like discharge. It's going to be like curd-like discharge, and that can be a mix of like very watery white to yellowish discharge or curd-like discharge, a mix of both. And you can actually have some spotting too, because yeast is very inflammatory, so it can create so much inflammation that you have this pinkish discharge instead. So when people are really concerned, they're like, I got my swab back, it says I have yeast. Like, I had no idea. How could I not know? Or what should I be looking out for? We'll tell you the basics of what you should look out for, but sometimes it does not present per usual or textbook. So don't be mad at yourself if you're like, man, I should have caught this, or how did I not know? Like, it's very, very common.